Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are stepping out of the craft room and we are going to tackle my pantry. Now, I organized my pantry back in February, March, somewhere around that time, like the beginning of my channel. The organization worked really well for us, but the issue is that we grew out of it. So when I first organized it, we had really only been in the apartment for a few months and we didn't have a lot of stuff. We were just starting to figure out like what things we needed for ourselves, just the two of us in our home. As the time has passed, I have realized that we need to adjust this space to work better for us now. Let me show you what we're working with. So here's the current situation of the pantry. It's not bad. I mean, it looks messy, but everything still has its place. We have kept to that fairly well. There are some areas that have overflowed what we originally set out for, like snacks and stuff. This situation obviously isn't working. The cans and stuff at the bottom, I had to use that shelf for something else. So it just kind of is sitting there and it needs a better solution. And our lighting, it stopped working. So these were working really well, but then they just completely stopped charging. So I definitely would not recommend these lights. But I got some new lights. We're gonna change those out and we're gonna do some reorganizing. The first step in this project was to clear as much as possible out of the pantry. I decided I wasn't going to clean everything out at one time just because I didn't really have the space to be able to do that and sort through things effectively. So I started with one section of the pantry and took stuff out. And then once that was clear, I was able to move things around and find a new system for everything that would be going back in. If you've watched any of my other organization videos, you know that the way that I figure out my organization systems is I just start putting stuff in and move things around as needed. So I put those drawers in as well as the turntable in the corner, and then I'm adding my shelf risers and extra shelves for more space. The shelf in the middle is a little deeper than the shelves that my dad and I put in, so it will need to be adjusted at some point, but it is okay for now until I'm able to do that. Then I'm adding the new lights. I used the original lights magnets that were already attached. I didn't want to deal with trying to unstick them. I just played around with it to see if it would work, and it holds them up fine. So I'm just leaving the magnets that were already up there and using what was already installed. And then I have backup magnets if I ever need them. These lights are so much brighter and I love them so much. I do wish that they had a warm light option, but since it's just in the pantry and they're only on when we go into the pantry and use this space, it doesn't bother me that much. Now on to sorting things. So again, adding things in, moving them around as needed. I'm moving all of my canned food up to the top because I do get into it more frequently than I expected to. So a lot of my Instant Pot meals and dinners that I make use these canned items. I'm also bringing the taller items up as well as things like pasta sauce, our peanut butter and breakfast things that we do get into pretty frequently, so we have better access to them. That is the main point of all of this reorganization, is to just make sure that the things that we grab often is in a convenient place for us to grab it. Moving on to the shelf here, this is going to be for basically dinner side dishes. I have my containers of rice, I'll be adding my containers of pasta. There's the cornmeal for cornbread. In the basket, I'm keeping the extra bags of pasta that we have or any specialty pastas that I get. And I really feel like this shelf is going to be so much better for us in keeping these items together. The next shelf I am designating as my baking section. So I did have my baking section tucked off to the right, as you'll see me pulling stuff over. And it worked out okay until I started needing that stuff more often. Also, another thing, since I had it over on that side, I had to get specifically sized containers that would fit there. But now moving them over to this middle section, I can get larger containers for my flour and sugar and make them easier to use when I do bake. Now I needed to go through all of our snacks, chips, pretzels, crackers, things like that. And this section made me feel so guilty. The problem that we had with these baskets that we used is that we would open up these packages and it would just get lost in the bottom of these baskets because you can't see through them and they're very deep. So while I like these baskets, they didn't work well for our snack baskets. And we just ended up with a bunch of opened, half-eaten bags of chips or packages of crackers that I had to toss because they had gotten stale. And I feel so badly about it just because I try so hard to reduce our food waste and eating what we buy. But the way that our organization was before, it just didn't work and we ended up with all of this expired product. So make sure that when you are organizing a space like a pantry or a fridge, anywhere that holds food, that you're making a system that allows you to eat the things that you have before they go bad, something that allows you to see what you have and rotate items so that way you don't end up having to waste a lot of food. So once I had everything cleared out and I had the stuff that was still good, I was able to put things back in. I used this shelf riser to add the boxes, and then I put all of our chip bags into these baskets and we could see everything that we have. And now on to my favorite part. I found these drawers on Amazon and I absolutely love them for all of the little things that we needed to put in our pantry. I feel like most people have this kind of stuff in their junk drawer, but we have very little drawers in our kitchen and I don't want to have a junk drawer. A junk drawer is not functional to me. So I got these drawers on Amazon and they hold all of these little items like barbecue packets and hot sauce packets and soy sauce packets, any sort of packets of things that you get from fast food places. I also have a drawer for our chip clips, as well as drawers for any of our water additives or energy packets that we have for drinks, things like that. Stuff, again, that would take up space in a junk drawer. But these little drawers allow me to separate everything so I can only get to the item that I want and I can see through them so I know what we have and what we need to use, because obviously we should use this stuff so that way it doesn't have to end up in the trash completely unused. I want to encourage all of you, if you're watching this video for organization tips, to try to find a space in your pantry or a cabinet for drawers like this and clear out your junk drawer. Find another solution for these things. We have a very small pantry. Our pantry is a coat closet, so you don't need a lot of space for something like this, and it is so much more functional than a junk drawer that just drives you crazy all of the time. So now onto the last section of this pantry refresh. I have these penny jars that I put on top of the shelf risers for our dog's larger snacks, and then underneath it are her smaller after walk treats. And then we have some space for canned food. And then underneath that, we have a basket of more specialty treats and then any medication that we have for our animals. All right, So I thought I'd give a quick rundown of how everything ended up organized in here. Up here I have all of my KitchenAid attachments. This is really the best place for them now, but I'd like to find a better solution for them so they're easier to use. This basket right now is just temporary for some leftover gingerbread candy that we had, so that will probably change at some point. Then we've got some backstock of spices. Got our soda stream, and then the bottles are back behind it. This shelf riser here, it holds some just kind of random things right now. We have like entertaining things like platters and stuff. And then up here we've got some cake plates and extra containers for ingredients and things like that. This has like some sprinkles and stuff in it. So it's kind of like baking stuff. And it got a little messy like during the holiday season, so I need to just kind of put those things in their place. But this, I don't know, this is technically my mom's, so I don't know if I'll be keeping this, but it works there for now. So yeah, this is all kind of like temporary spots here. And then coming down, we'll go to this side. So we have the pet area here, and I had this extra penny jar, so it worked perfectly because we have her dental sticks and then we have her dingoes here. They're not real dingoes, but that's what we call them. We have those here, the things we get like in more bulk, and then we have down here like smaller items. Back there, I put this back here because it was empty. It was an empty corner and I need a place for this, and that's kind of where we have like the stuff that we're currently eating, so it's like easy access, like the snacks that we're currently, you know, working on, I guess. Coming down, we have more pet things. We have like pet medicine and stuff in that bin there. And then coming down here, I have a practically empty shelf, which is so awesome. And I'm really excited about that. I love having empty shelves. Then at the bottom right now is the Instant Pot. I don't know if this will stay here, but again, we had an empty shelf, so this is where it is now. I do have some plans that you guys will find out about soon, so that might be changing, but it goes there for now because we had an empty space. And then these, they kept falling off the door, so I need to find better hooks for them. So right now they're just kind of sitting on the floor. Let me move them out of the way so I can show you. This bottom shelf, we have... This is all baking stuff. So this is smaller appliances like a hand mixer and things like that. And then we have our cereal bins here because we haven't been getting cereal. So those are living on the bottom shelf for now. This shelf is baking. So this basket holds all of these smaller baking items like vanilla and oils and things like that. And then we have our ingredient, like the bigger ones. Now that I have more room though, I think I might end up switching out of these and getting bigger bins for them so they're easier to scoop. I went with these ones because they were over here before and I needed to have specific sized bins, and they've worked just fine, but it would definitely be nice to have wider mouthed containers for them. So I think I might do that, and I'll donate these or I'll find someone who can use them. And then up here we have like our grains, like side dish section, I guess. You saw me organize that, but that's what this shelf is here. And then up here we have cans. And then the top shelf up here, we've got like extra pasta sauce jars, and like the croutons are in that thing. It's kind of stuff we reach for frequently. And then we have like kind of breakfast stuff. We reach for our peanut butter a lot, so I didn't want it on a lower shelf. And then the Bisquick and syrup there works. And then over to the side I have the oats, just because it's a really tall container and that was the only place that it worked. Here I have this Lazy Susan, this double Lazy Susan, which is perfect for extra spices that don't fit in my cabinet. I love this. I'm so glad that I got this and put this in here. I don't have footage of it, but it is so perfect. And then over here we have my drawers, which are working perfectly. I love these. It's so much easier to grab the things that we need out of these drawers than it was like in the bins. And then up here is just my husband's like travel coffee stuff. And then coming down, we have like box snacks like crackers, things like that. Down to the next section, we have chips. And then down to the next section, we have more chips, but more like pretzels and things like that, kind of like separate from chips, but still in the same family. And I need to get another basket for these because I only got the pack of 3 and these are kind of loose, but I'd like to have them contained in a thing so it's just a little cleaner. All right, guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know that I was reorganizing an already organized space, but I always think that it's really important to show you guys these videos so that way you know that if a system that you put in place isn't working for you, it's okay. It happens. Over time, we grow and our needs change, and so it's important that our spaces grow and change with us. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like down below. Every like that I get lets me know what kind of content you like seeing on my channel, so I know what to do in the future. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing because 2024 is going to be a big one for projects in the apartment, and I'm so excited to show you guys everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.